Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. In this episode we're going to be working on the Jeep back again. What we did up there was replace the map sensor. We have a code that is P2074 and basically says it's a miscorrelation between the map sensor and the throttle body. Well, today we're going to be replacing, you can see right there, the boost sensor. Okay, so I'm going to show you, I'm going to turn around the camera, I'm going to show you what it is. So our boost sensor is right there, that one right there that you can see. Now if you look at it, that's the one that we replaced right there. Yep, right there, this one here. Okay, our map sensor is right there, and then that comes all the way down through here to where that sensor is, and then down there is the throttle body somewhere. I hope it's not too windy, you can still hear me, but what happened is that we replaced the map sensor and it seemed to work, and we cleared the codes, we went for a run, we did the DPF regen, and everything seemed to work fine. But unfortunately it's not like that. So the next thing to replace is going to be the boost sensor. Now I did a bit of research and they said when you replace the map sensor you should be replacing the boost sensor as well. There's not a lot of information on what to change or what it could be actually the issue apart from those two things. So if that doesn't work, what we do is probably either replace the map sensor or the throttle body. Yeah, it's one of those videos. So let's see what we can do. Just to do a bit of a recap, this is a OM651 engine, which basically is a w204 engine for Mercedes. So it's a 2.2 litre CRD, 163 brake horsepower, something like that. It sounds good, but let's see if we can fix it. All we're going to need in order to remove the sensor is a T25 and a bit of a long extension. I'm doing this with a 1/4 of an inch. You can do it with a 3/8, but it's going to be a bit of a struggle just because what it is. And to get the one down there, that one right there, that one is going to be a bit more complicated. To unplug it simply, you're going to have a tap here, so you're going to push on that down, and then you're going to be able to pull it and get it out. Once we got the sensor out, what we're going to do is compare with a new one. So here are our two sensors. You can see the numbers on this one don't match with that one, but I have double checked that they are the same thing. It's just a different brand. As you can see, that's Bosch, that's DC. So I did make sure that they're actually the same ones, and what we're going to do now is install this one where the old one was. As you can see, we got our new sensor in, but before we clear the codes, do a few key cycles and we go for a road test, what I want to do is have a look at the MAF sensor. We got the diesel control unit out here, so we're going to have to be careful with that. But what we've got, as you can see right there, that's been held with a cable tie. But we've got a couple of nuts like that one, and the one that you can see right there, around where the air filter goes. Now this car hasn't had a proper service in probably 2 years, so we'll see how that is as well. But yeah, as I said, we got a couple of I think they're going to be 10s, so there's going to be one in here, that cable tie there, there's another one around there, and a couple at the back, and I'm assuming one here at the front. So we're going to take that off and have a look. As you can see, the air filters seem better days, and as well because it was held with the cable ties in this corner, you can see water there. It wasn't even fucking tight. Full disclaimer, we bought this car 2 years ago at a dealership, or like a small dealership if you want to call it, near Chesterfield, and to be honest I don't even recommend it to my worst enemy. He was shit. We had some issues with this car. He had to have it back after 2 weeks or so, and then he didn't want to repair it because there was no money there for him and whatever. But he was claiming that his cars were perfect, just past the MOT, no advisories, no nothing. He won't give you a discount because the cars were top condition. So full of bullshit. But anyway, now it's our car, and it's up to me if I want to fix it, and up to my girlfriend if she wants to sell it. Anyway, so as I said, we're gonna clean the air filter. I don't have a new one now. We're gonna do a full service on this car soon, so I'm not gonna worry about that right now. I just want to give it a nice clean, clean the MAF sensor, sorry, and make sure when I put it back on, if I put the cable ties to hold it in place, properly, not just loose as it was. Anyway, stop rambling. Let's get that done, and then we can read the codes, clear it, go for a road test and see what happens. Alright, it's not massively clean, but it's a lot better than it was before. I cleaned the filter as well, and now we're just going to put it all back together. Alright, so let's go for a bit of a drive. So what I did is I read the codes with Carly, got rid of them, turned the key off, turn it back on, and now we go for a drive. I found out last time that I think for the first 4 or 5 cycles of the key, it didn't give me any light. So what we're gonna do is go for a bit of a drive. We're gonna do a region on the DPF, and then after that we're gonna do a few cycles on the key and see if it comes back on. If it doesn't, great. If it does, well, we're gonna go down the rabbit hole, which is gonna be probably MAF sensor, maybe throttle position body, or the actual throttle body. So yeah, let's go for a drive, let's see what happens. To be honest, it does pull well, but so it did last time, so I don't want to get my hopes up. I keep on repeating it, the brakes are shit. That's one thing that we need to do in this car, hopefully before winter comes. Definitely before winter comes, because my god, we need to do that. And we need to do as well an ABS sensor, since the ABS, I think is, if I remember correctly, I think is the offside rear. So basically it's going to be the one right here behind us. That came on a couple of weeks ago, I think it was, and of course it takes out the traction control and it takes out the 4-wheel drive, since it can't read the speed. So that's something else that we're going to have to replace. And as I said before, we're gonna have to do a big service on the car as well. We're gonna do engine oil, we're gonna do air filter, fuel filter, pollen filter, and if something else comes up as well, we're gonna do it. And we're back. Unfortunately, the light is still there, and it's a bit of a bittersweet thing, because I realized, or I found out, what is actually the issue with it. I'm gonna put here a screen recording of the Carly live diagnostics, and what I realized is after doing some tests and stuff like that, is that the throttle position is not varying. It doesn't matter what you do, if you go faster, slower, if you put your foot down, it just doesn't vary at all. So join me next time. I suppose this is how things go, you know. Sometimes you have to take the loss. You know, we all go to YouTube to find a video where they have a problem, they find the solution, they fix it, happy days. But sometimes things are not like that, and real life things are not always like that. So we're going to take the loss this time, but we're going to get a new throttle body, and we're going to be replacing that. Not in this video, unfortunately. I don't have time to actually get one right now. If you made it till here, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing if you do. And I shall see you very shortly.